Well, here we are over 2 months later, starting to approach that 3 month mark of Stadia's lifespan. We've gone 43 days or so since the last time we've had a game launch on Stadia, missing a bevy of features. There's still no 4K on browser or more support for different phones. Right now, the headlines are seizing this opportunity to call out Google, and these headlines aren't just from the so called haters, but even from our own community, and they're all starting to revolt. Frankly, I don't blame anyone, but I'm going to tell you, despite why all of this, I couldn't be more excited for the future of Stadia. So let's get into it. If you could hit that like button to help me out, and sub if you're brand new and looking for more Stadia content. But it seemed as right when so many people were losing complete and utter hope 2 weeks ago, Grace from Google announced right on cue that 120 games were coming this year to the Stadia platform alone, alongside 10 games in the first half of the year that will be exclusives to the Stadia platform. And right there, that was enough to calm us for a bit. But here we are, 2 weeks later, with essentially complete silence on any new games and any features popping up. People are getting pretty fed up, and frankly, I don't blame people necessarily. As someone who's for some strange reason been that guy to have to talk people off the ledge, I'm still very excited and not up in arms with so many of you, but for quite a few reasons. Frankly, right now, there is a lot of things happening behind the scenes with Google, and really there is one big sole focus I care about more than anything else when it comes to Stadia, and you guys will care about that too. But more on that later. But here we are with us going more than 43 days of silence on any games dropping that I will concede does not get me excited. But I'm going to try and put things in perspective from my mind as to why I think that is happening. The number one thing, if you guys haven't noticed, there have been quite a few games that have launched on Stadia that frankly haven't ran or looked great. They've under-delivered also on that 4K promise. Now, Google, despite not being the actual entity that ports the games over, that being the developers, who definitely have their part to blame, but despite that, Google is the one that's been in the crosshairs. Now, I'm not defending Google. Obviously, they should take their fair share of blame in this category because, frankly, the platform needed some more time to cook before this became a paid beta. So with all this bad press, I'm assuming now Google has told these developers to get their collective rears together because we're getting killed in the press. So this was all back in December, and frankly, that is when Google was getting killed the most. And here we are, about to hit February, and it's been all crickets on the game's front. But I think this is all for a purpose. Even if the most hardened defenders are now jumping ship, and people are getting upset, I don't blame any of you for feeling that way, but ultimately my take is that Google has one sole focus that they must get right more than anything. Even if you guys are upset and up in arms, and they continue to get bad press here and there, they must absolutely 100% get that free base model correct and launching at its most optimal peak because frankly, the cold hard truth is Google isn't worried about you. They're not worried about me or people who have invested in this platform already. They are worried about getting this thing right when it reaches the masses and people get to test this out completely free and wipe away months and months of bad press because it will be in the hands of your everyday person. They are more worried about getting those features correct and up and running by the time that free version comes out, making sure these developers are not porting over bad titles. And I think that is where their intention is. And frankly, I'm good with that because it needs to win over the people that are not already invested in this platform. The fact of the matter is, guys, if they don't get that free base model correct, this platform will cease to exist in the later future. And if you guys haven't noticed, this platform works pretty badass. It's turned a pure PC gamer into a cloud believer when just 9 months ago, I literally said out of my own mouth, sorry, cloud gaming is still 5 years away. Right now, I can tell you the majority of people out there also think the way that I did. They aren't in our community or in our Stadia bubbles. Right now, those people think that Stadia is trash because that's what their influencers tell them and that's what the news relays to them. We don't need convincing in this community because we know it works. Google, frankly, isn't worried as much about us because we've already paid and we're already knee deep in this platform. and we've already invested monetarily. Right now, I'm ultimately good with all this because I cannot wait until this platform is out and everyone gets to try it. I can't wait until people who were like me 9 months ago open their eyes and go, wow, is this really running on the cloud? This is insane. More than anything, I want Google to make sure they get everything running as smooth as possible, with as many games running at their best right when that base launches. The worst thing they can ever do is launch this anytime soon with these lack of games and lack of features like 4K on the browser and support for more phones. Does it suck right now we haven't seen a game in over 40 days? Yeah, of course. But Grace had the grace to tell us, fret not, 120 games are coming this year. 10 timed exclusives are headed our way in the first half of the year. Well, we're 1 month in 2020, and we're about to head for a hell of a ride, good or bad, in the next 5 months. I don't know when this base model will launch, but when it does, I pray everything is in working order with as many games out as they can, because that will determine the outlook for years to come when it comes to this platform. I would urge Google to continue to not succumb to the pressure, not rush to anything, because the outside world doesn't know when base is launching, and neither does anyone here. But you guys are on the clock, because a new Xbox and PlayStation are coming sooner rather than later, so please don't wait too long. With that said, I couldn't be more excited for this platform like I stated in the outset, and even despite this entire current mess of lack of communication, I fully expect people to convert like I have when the base model launches, and I just can't wait to see those reactions. Now, if you guys could do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub if you're brand new and looking for more Stadia content, comment down below your thoughts if you're angry or you're still excited, and what your hope for is for the outlook of this platform in the future. Thanks for watching, and like always, I hope you guys have a sunny day.